when it comes to lending in Kenya, of prominence has been the fact that the CBK has been on the case of banks to lower their lending rates in tandem with the central bank's own lowering. This hasn't happened yet. So to what extent has this been a hindrance to Kenyans in terms of accessing credit?
Thank you very much. You're quite right that the central bank has been trying to get the banks here to reduce their interest rates. But one of the primary reasons that the interest rates are still high is because the banks have had to factor in the risk premium. You can imagine in the last 2 years or so, first with the global recession and then the drought that happened last year, the economic situation for most borrowers has been pretty adverse. Now, it is hoped that with the Bureau coming into place and the availability of credit information, you should start seeing factoring in of the risk premium from the banks and reduction of the interest rates. Unfortunately, that may not happen immediately because first, it requires the proper utilization of the information that you come from the banks. And secondly, a lot of public awareness that needs to be created so people are aware in terms of the value that a good credit history can give them and allow them to negotiate lower rates with the banks.
Of course, this is a first in the country, as I was saying earlier. So how confident are you and are banks themselves in the actual process of information collection and then dissemination as well, so that the information that they receive is credible and reliable?
There is a project that is presently ongoing in terms of the implementation of the Credit Bureau in Kenya. And one of the things we are looking at is the quality of data that will be reported. There is a cleanup exercise that's been ongoing for the last 1 year as the banks were preparing for the coming into play of the License Bureau. And we expect that from this month, the banks will start reporting the information following the protocol that have been agreed. There is a standard specification document that has been prepared that provides for the information that the banks are required to report to the Bureau. I'm quite confident that they'll be able to do that. The advantage you have in Kenya is that most of the banks are very well computerized. KYC requirements have been well adhered to in Kenya, so I should not expect there to be a problem with the data that we will be accessing.
What's sentiment like amongst the broader Kenyan public? I mean, are Kenyans willing to divulge information to the Bureau and to their banks?
This is the reason I'm saying that there will be a bit of public awareness campaign required. One of the challenges bureaus have is the negative perception people have towards the bureau. Most times it's looked at as there to punish the defaulters. But in essence, what you're trying to do is to reward good behavior. We hope that with good public awareness, the message should be sent out that it's your credit history now that is speaking for you, that you should be able to use your credit history as collateral to access credit from banks and at lower interest rates.
Well, of course, this all necessary to get the wheels of the economy turning again. Just how soon do you see the system, once it's set up, actually taking effect, making credit more accessible?
I do believe that within the course of this year, especially the implementation that is ongoing, if it's properly done in terms of making sure that all the banks are utilizing the information and the public awareness has been created, I would expect to see some change in terms of the attitude that may be there in the credit market. You're quite right that there's need to unlock credit in the economy to allow for the economy to start growing again. But I do expect that that should be the case in the course of this year. The economic outlook in any case has been very good.